blocked, cost centers are blocked for posting, whatever. Yeah, but in general, it's a business guy who's working with that. And in our opinion, the business colleagues are normally the processors, and we want to give them the error handling in the screen they already work with on a daily basis. We didn't want to have a new screen somewhere in the ERP, which they have to get used to. They should work in the same queue like they work on a daily basis.
Right, but what I'm trying to say is you cannot fix it in Concur, because you have to go into SAP to fix it.
Yes, then in that case, of course, you go into Concur, open the expense report and say, okay, I have to open my vendor account. Of course, then you would have to open the SAP system in addition, correct it in there, and then you just confirm in Concur, okay, the error has been solved, and it will be back in your queue. Of course, you would have to go into SAP to do this kind of correction. But especially SAP internally, one of the biggest issues is that incorrect cost objects are used, for example. And in that case, the processor very often has to go back to the employee, hey, give me another cost object. And that's done in Concur. So there are always a lot of issues in SAP, totally agree with that, but there are even a lot of issues which can be corrected on Concur side as well. And for that reason, we decided to bring it back into Concur to really allow to reopen the expense report and do all kind of changes which are possible in the expense report. I'm showing you that in a second. So financial posting, it will become boring again, another wizard. So the first thing you have to select is what kind of documents do you want to post. Expense report, cash advances, or even from the invoice to payment requests, in case you have the invoice add-on installed as well. We have some general questions like, do you want to accept test user postings? Very often, Concur customers only have one entity where they're doing productive and test expense report creations. And of course, you want to ensure that no test postings are coming in your productive environment. And for that reason, we can say we don't want to allow test user posting in this ERP environment. If you're coming from travel on-premise, then maybe you have a very sophisticated symbolic account mapping where you determine expense account in ERP by symbolic account. Feel free to use it, or you can really maintain expense accounts directly in Concur and map it to your expense tab. Both ways are supported. It's really up to you what you want to use. Next thing, you have to decide what should be taken as the posting date. You can take several dates coming from Concur, or it should be the today's date, the date when the expense report is transferred. Again, available since 1 week, since the last support package came on the market. If the date you have selected would be in a period which is already closed in finance, then we can automatically try to determine the next open posting period. Means the expense report has an end date of December. December period is closed in March normally. Then we check, is the January open? No. February open? March open? Yes. And we are automatically adjusting the posting date to the March period without you have to write any kind of code therefore. The FI document type has to be determined. If you want to use IBCP credit cards, activated here. But the most important part here is the relevance filter. How many of you have multiple SAP systems in your company? A lot. I personally would say everyone here, because normally every SAP customer has a test environment and a productive one. And if you want to connect multiple ERPs to the same Concur entity, you have to ensure later on that the expense reports are transferred into the right SAP system and not into the wrong one. And therefore we use the relevance filter. The relevance filter is working by checking a field in the employee master data, and this should be the field in which a logical system ID is included. So in our case, it's the org unit 1. Maybe you remember our connected list. The first level was the system. And here we have it in the org unit 1 field. So we say, in case the org unit 1, and who of you remembers when I opened up the connected list level 1, what was the value therefore? It was Q16 line 500. So this is what we have to enter here. So we say, only take the expense report and post it in this system where the org unit 1 field is including the value Q16 line 500. Ignore all others. If you don't maintain that and you have multiple ERP systems connected to the same Concur, first come, first serve. This means the first ERP system reaching out to Concur, give me all the expense report, would pick up all expense reports, and the other systems would never see them again.
So I just want to go back on the point around the test user.
Mm-hmm.
So in the scenario of only having a productive environment, will the relevance filter support the pointing of the test user accounts to a QA environment?
Yes. So in this case, you have to set a relevance filter in your SAP test environment and the productive environment the same way.
But how would it pick up the test user?
Test users are included in the normal file. In the test environment, you say, okay, I want to allow test user postings, and then we just pull these kind of expense reports like normal expense report for normal users as well.
But there's only going to be one org unit structure, or
yes, but in that.
Or are you saying that in the test, when I create my test user account, in the org unit 1, I need to specify the SAP environment that it goes to?
In that case, your test user has an own, in the connected list at level 1, it would not be Q16 client 500, it would be system XYZ, a different value. If you have multiple ERP systems, of course, you have to have a unique value in this, in my case, org unit 1 field for all the different systems. Okay, next step, I have to define where do I find my company code. It was in my case org unit 2, for example. And now coming back to your question with the vendor accounts, we can determine the vendor account by the custom code, custom field 17. It can include the vendor account ID. In that case, you would have to set that value already during the employee master data replication. Maybe if you have a split scenario, HR system and a finance system, how do you know the vendor ID which is given for this employee in your finance system? In that case, I would recommend maybe to use the personal number, or if you're using Employee Central, then we have here the option to work with the Employee Central user ID as well, and we automatically can determine the vendor account by that. This is available again since 1 week.
Heiko, short question.
Yes. Again.
You
have the microphone?
Yeah, I just have it again. You're saying here the personal number in this case needs to be changed to be moved to custom 17, or are you saying if we activate personal number here, it's really looking into table position personal number at Concur site?
No, you have to use the field custom 17. The custom 17 field should use one of these 3 values. So if you have a personal number already in the personal number field,
duplication of data. Okay.
Keep it redundant in the second field as well. Or use a body.
So we have a corporate card program. Sometimes we need to post against the bank vendor. Sometimes we will be going against the employee vendor. So how do we post against the bank vendor?
This is a terrible question. No, I'm joking. It's a really good one. This is the so-called IBCP credit card process. We are fully supporting all different kind of credit cards. The employee built-in employee payment, IBIP credit cards, CBCB, the completely company paid, and the IBCP cards as well. In this case, how do we determine the credit card vendor account? We customize it in Concur. In your either payment type or the credit card master data itself, you enter the vendor number, and then we would take that in the IBCP case for posting and would automatically replace the vendor account. In general, the major way how we pay is the employee as a vendor account. We support expense pay as well as a payment option, and as that, all the different credit card types are supported as well. Thanks.
Yes, sorry. Short question for IBCP. So you're saying then the vendor information needs to be tied to the payment type. It happens quite often when we're using multiple ERP systems that the vendor number is different per ERP system. So does it mean that we have to multiply the payment types within Concur just to meet this requirement? Because most are set up globally.
Is it the case that it's always the same IBCP credit card for all the different systems?
No, it is following the same payment type.
Yeah, but as I said, you can even customize it in the credit card master data itself. So if you have
Okay,
multiple
so-
credit cards
so we
and
need
the
to
credit
change
card
SAP, okay.
and the credit card master data, this is always checked first. Is there a vendor number? If not, then we go back to the payment type and take it from there.
Okay.
So we have options, and the third option is always body.
Okay.
Then you write your own determination. That can always be done.
Okay, then short question to the other credit card products, CBCP walking card products, clearing processes against class 1 posting, reconciliation.
For CBCP cards, let's say we replace vendor account by a clearing account code from a posting perspective. Works the same mechanism that you either maintain the clearing account code in your credit card master data or in your payment type. Yeah. Okay, next one, cost object mapping. This is one restriction we have. In general, we take the cost object mapping always from the allocation level. So this must be activated in your Concur entity when you're using the native integration. We can't take the cost object types from the entry level or header level or anything else. It has to be the allocation level. And here at the allocation level, we can then say, okay, where exactly do I find, for example, the cost object type? In my case, it was custom 3, and the cost object ID is the custom 4 level. So here I can easily do the mapping for this. The logical system is the custom 1 and the company code custom 2. So here again we are very flexible. It's really up to you how you configure your screen. Where do I find the cost center? Where do I find the internal order? We can easily map it with this way. Last but not least, we already know that screen. How often do I want to replicate it? I want to do it manually, or do you want to have it fully automatically? I can really easily go down to every 15 minutes if I want to get my expense reports copied over. Here I can see the whole things I entered in the screens before again. Click on complete, and the next integration is activated. And we can immediately start. If you want to execute the financial posting manually or want to check which documents has been received, you can go to Concur Documents and check it from here. And I already mentioned several times body. One second. Bodies can easily be found here, and you can go there and implement your bodies if necessary. Okay, 1 second to get the microphone. I can hear you from here, I think, but...
Person
No.
said,
Oh, okay, ladies first.
you were going to show us how failed documents can be reprocessed.
I will show that in a second, how this works
But
completely.
if they haven't failed, can they be reprocessed? Like say something comes into SAP and finance later discovers the person did it wrong.
You mean a reopen without having a failure?
Right.
Not so far. We have it on a roadmap that you really can reopen expense report. My boss, for example, complains from time to time that I took the wrong cost object. Yeah, shit happens. Bad luck for him. So far you can't change it. You would have to create a second expense report to do the correction, or you do the correction posted in finance. To reopen expense report, to change cost object, or to add another tax receipt, which I found 10 years after my expense report has been closed, that will be available. I can't give an exact date, but it's in the roadmap. Sooner or later we have it.
The biggest ones are employee recommend is they're processing credit card charges out of pocket. And they get, of course, get paid for out of pocket expenses for payroll. So they find out, hey, this was wrong, it was a credit card charge. So that's the biggest issue.
Even things like that should be possible sooner or later.
Okay.
Stay tuned. I think maybe not this year, maybe 2018, but we definitely have it in the roadmap.
We have two questions. One, do we always have to post it automatically, or does it allow us to park it into SAP?
What do you mean parking? You mean the SAP parking functionality, the FPV1? We are not using that. We really go immediately and try to post. No parking. Because otherwise someone would go into the parking document and would have to transfer the park document in the posted one. Do we really want to do that? Manual step in between? No, we really post. Immediately we post, if possible.
One more question. Right now we put in a series of coding validations or exceptions handling when in between SAE uploading to SAP. Is there a way that we can integrate those exceptions handling into this?
Of course. As you see here, bodies are available. And option number 2, with the posting functions we have in place, we are supporting the standard business transaction events, the standard validation, standard substitutions. If you have it somewhere implemented in these old standard exit functionalities, they are processed and they would really have then an effect on the posting as well. So what time is it? I don't want to bother and keep you too long. Okay, Concur documents. So far, nothing has been picked up. I'm really doing it manually now. I'm saying I have the option to really do it step by step. I can pick it up, I can send an acknowledgement, I can try to post, I can send a posting confirmation. This is something we have implemented to really do issue handling. If there's a dump or a bug in between, then we can really execute this single step for one particular expense report and debug it easier. Of course, I'm not going to do that now. So I will go to start automatically to execute all these steps fully automatically. And one expense report has been picked up now from the Concur system. Okay, it has been acknowledged, has been confirmed, the process worked, but the posting failed. With the display functionality, I have multiple options. The first thing is I can always check the data coming over from Concur in a so-called JSON format. We have all the data which comes over, and you can easily check, is there maybe even an issue in my mapping, is there some data missing from Concur? And you really can always see what is available. Option number 2, we have the document protocol, which shows you step by step, did these steps work correctly? And we see here, okay, my cost center has been blocked for posting. Okay, switching to Concur. I'm now in a role as a processor. I can go into the expense processor screen, process reports, and I can select all the expense reports which are in error. Therefore, we have an own payment status, which is called financial posting failed. And I even see here, okay, posting failed, I should check the audit trail. Okay. Going to the audit trail, details, audit trail. Cost center 11 blocked against direct posting on whatever date. So you see exactly the same error message as we have just seen in finance in the ERP world is shown in Concur. And in case you can really solve the issue in Concur, then you can just click on the recall processor. The expense report is open. We can send it back to the employee, saying to the employee, hey, give me another cost center, the one you gave me is crap, I can't use it anymore. Or, I'm God in that system now and I know exactly I can take another one, and therefore I can go, for example, to the expense report header and say, okay, instead of using the development cost center, I'm taking any other cost center like the Amsterdam cost center here. Yep, I want to replace the cost center in all different line items down to the allocation. Changes has been done now in Concur. With the SAE file, you would never be able to do something like that. We are not reopening the expense report. With the SAE file, as soon as the file has been created, the expense report is closed. If you want to do a correction, do it outside. And maybe if you do a correction like this, then SAP system and Concur are not consistent. The SAP posting shows you cost center Amsterdam, and Concur shows you still development. Okay, explain that to an auditor. The next thing I do, I just have to... No question, I think. I have to click on approve, and again I see the status is changed now to processing payment. Going back to SAP, triggering the process one more time. I still have only one line item because it's still the same expense report in here, but my status has been changed now to successful. If I click on the protocol one more time, now I see the next step that they worked correctly. And in addition, I can go to posted financial document to really see the FI document which has been created out of the expense report I just have shown. Going back to Concur, having a look in the expense report one more time. Audit trail one more time. And even here, I have a success message and I see the FI document number which has been created. So even here we can see the information, okay, successfully posted. You can open your FI system and go for the document number and it's display the same. So we have end-to-end visibility about the data. And this is pretty much all the demo part I have so far. Going back to the PowerPoint. What are we planning to have soon? We know these first 3 steps, the communication, the master data transfer, the financial posting, and somewhere mid of this year, the next step should be payroll integration. That we really can, in addition to financial posting, get data transferred to payroll. Why do we want to integrate with payroll? A lot of customers came to us and said, I want to do payments. Our way around. I want to do payments via Concur, via the payroll. I want to pay my employees with the normal payroll run. That will be possible. Other option is, maybe your company is paying more meal per diems than the statutory rates. Then this would mean you maybe have to do some taxation. Your employee would have to pay taxes for the amount over this limit. And even this information should be transferred to your payroll system. These 2 reasons are enough for us to have, in addition to the finance integration, the payroll integration soon. And just an overview about the roadmap in general, my last slide. The recent innovation, I think I don't have to talk about that anymore because this is exactly what we have seen in the last little bit more than 1 hour. Planned innovation means hopefully coming very soon. So we want to enhance the replication of cost object master data, which is partially already done since last week with the availability of adding new cost object hierarchy levels with body functionalities. Payroll, I just mentioned 1 slide before. Payment confirmations should be sent back from SAP to Concur. This is one thing which is so far missing. This should be available in the next 1, 2, maximum 3 support packages coming out every 3 months. So I would assume in this year we will have the payment confirmation automatically back as well. For invoice, we will have the invoice pay support. For expense, we already have the expense pay support, so we will have the same functionality here. Concur Expense Standard Edition will be supported for now. Sorry about that. For standard customers, we are not having the native integration so far. Coming soon. And we have a lot of more features coming in the next months as well. We want to have new integrations into other SAP products. Business by Design, Business One. If there's a Business One customer in the room and you want to think about being an early adopter, let me know. So we are very close to really launching the product. Ariba, Fieldglass, the other cloud products SAP has, we are planning to have integrations as well. Can't give you that much details on this so far. We want to have some country additional specifications we want to implement. Attachments should be transferred. So far we already have the attachment IDs in our JSON document, and in the body or any other way you could already use the data to read the attachments and bring it into your ERP your own way. We want to have a standard way to get it really into your optical archive service connected to your SAP system out of the box. Expense report updates, that was the question from the first row. Reopening expense report, it's in the roadmap. I don't have a real exact timeline when it's coming. Funds management for public sector customers in the room, or even for other companies it might be interesting. That's definitely in the roadmap. And similar to integration we have shown now for SAP, we want to have with other non-SAP solutions as well. Therefore we work together with partners. So this is coming as well. Another topic, exchange rates is in the list. Customers often ask for that, but there's already a file upload, and Concur is working together with a partner to have automated, updated exchange rate in Concur as well. So this is not our highest priority, but we have it here and it's definitely coming soon. And a lot of more things are in the backlog. I don't know how long the backlog currently is. It's growing on a daily basis. So if you have more requests, let me know, and I can really see if it's already backlog, and if not, and more customers are asking for that, I'm happy to add it to our backlog. So that the teams doesn't get bored with new development tasks. And now I think that was all for today. I think that's the last session. If you have more questions,